Hello, good people. Hello, proteges. This video is to let you know about a assembly bill that is in the process of being voted on, and you need to be made aware of this. Assembly Bill 854, or AB 854. Excuse me. It is for landlords, property owners. If you are renting, this is a bill that you definitely need to be aware of. This is a bill that I have not seen any type of public information, notification. Just because of the circles that I'm in, this is something that came to me, and this is something that I am going to put in a word about on social media, as well as make my phone calls and emails. And if this is something that is affecting you as a property owner, as a landlord, this is something that you need to pay attention to, because this affects your property rights. Remember, you have the right to own property. You have the right to do what you would like with your property. You have the right to dispose of your property if you choose to. AB 854, Assembly Bill 854, is a bill that is close to being signed into law, where you need to contact your assembly members to let them know how you feel about this. This bill will make it so that you as a property owner, you as a landlord, if you choose to say, hey, I don't want to be a property owner with this land, being a landlord, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to sell my buildings. I want to I'm using the word evict, but I want to give notice to the tenants in my property and say that this property is no longer available for rent. This property is no longer available for tenants. I'm getting out of the business. I'm done with being a landlord. I'm done with property in California. I don't want to do this anymore. Well, this bill says, no, you can't say that you don't want to be a property owner anymore. You don't want to be a landlord anymore. Basically, suck it up. So there's rules and restrictions that are written into this, which goes against the California Ellis Act of 1985. That says if you choose not to be a landlord anymore, that's your right to do so. This current bill is saying, no, you have to stay in it. You can't notify your tenants to say that you're getting out of this. This bill says whomever owns the property with you, no matter what the percentage, no matter how the ownership that you have, depending on how it's written up as far as the structure, if it's a corporation, if it's a joint tenant agreement, whatever it is, they want to know who the people are, and it's going to be made public. If you have tenants that have been in place, they don't want you to sell. If you decide that you want to dispose of one property and you have other property, they want you to dispose of more than one property, not just give notice on the one property. So you could decide that this one isn't working for you in the location. This isn't working for you for whatever reason. Because remember, your right is to own property. You have that right. under the bundle of property rights, you also have the right to dispose of it. So if you don't want to do it anymore, if you want to sell it, that is your right. This particular bill is taking away that, and it's also going against what the California Ellis Act was established to do. So I'm telling you, you need to read up on it, because I've noticed in the past couple of years, especially because of the pandemic, there has been so many bills that have been written, Senate bills and Assembly bills, that are similar in nature, that are opposing in nature, that have some of the same language, and there's multiple bills saying the same thing, or there's multiple bills going against a certain thing, or it's bills that contradict one against the other. And if you're not paying attention, these type of things get signed into law, because they're going to be voted on. No one is going to talk about it, and then all of a sudden you hear about this new law. I know that a lot of businesses are deciding to leave California for various reasons, and this is something that shall, I'm going on the will and shall versus may, affect property that is for using for tenants. You don't have to have property to have tenants. It doesn't matter if the case is something that is rent controlled in this particular standpoint, or if it's not. If you choose to no longer be a landlord for whatever reason, again, that's your right to dispose of property that you own. And in many instances, my conversation has been that the need for housing, the desire to have affordable housing, the lack of housing, the housing that taxpayers have paid for but has not been built. We'll give an example. The city of Los Angeles, the Triple H funding that basically has a little bit over 1,000 units, and they're spending an enormous amount of money in order to build units. And I'm saying units because these are units as in apartment style units versus actually being an actual house. And they're spending almost $600,000 for one unit to be built. So that's where your taxpayer money is. Also, if a person chooses to be altruistic and decides that they're going to do Section 8, or they're going to have lower rent for people with lower income to be able to rent, that's someone's choice. This isn't by force of an individual providing something that either the government should provide or nonprofits should provide. This is basically forcing property owners to do what government and what nonprofits are set up to do, or what they should do as far as government and nonprofit. You need to pay attention to this bill. Contact your assembly members. Let them know how you feel about this, because it is going to a vote soon, and you should make your voice and your vote count.